The grand hall shimmered with golden chandeliers, velvet curtains, and the soft murmur of high society waiting for the world-renowned pianist, Victor Leclerc, to begin. Victor had traveled the globe, performing before kings and queens, filling concert halls with his artistry. Yet behind the perfection of his tuxedo and the gleam of his polished shoes, he had grown tired. Tired of fame. Tired of empty applause, tired of faces that smiled only because of his name. That evening, as the audience gathered, Victor excused himself before the performance. He told his manager he needed a moment of silence, to breathe fresh air. Slipping out the side entrance, he wandered into the narrow streets beyond the opera house, where the lights of glamour quickly gave way to shadows of poverty. There, huddled on a broken step near an alley, sat a young boy. His skin was dark, his clothes worn thin, and in his lap rested an old, cracked keyboard, its white keys yellowed with age. The boy's eyes, though open, did not follow Victor's approach. They stared blankly into the night. He was blind. Victor paused. The child pressed a key, then another, fumbling at first, but soon a soft melody floated out, raw and imperfect. People passed without notice, except to toss a few coins in the boy's tin can. Something stirred inside Victor. He crouched beside the child and asked gently, "What's your name?" The boy tilted his head, recognizing the voice but not the face. "Samuel, sir. But most people just call me Sam." Victor studied him. "Do you like playing?" The boy's lips curved into the faintest smile. "It's all I got. I can't see, but I can feel music. Mama says it's the only thing I was born holding on to." His fingers fluttered over the keys as though the piano were part of his heartbeat. Victor's heart ached. He wanted to move on, but instead, he said softly, "Play for me. Just for fun." The boy straightened, fingers trembling slightly. Then, with a deep breath, he began. At first, the sound wavered, fragile as a candle flame in the wind. But suddenly, as though an invisible force flowed through him, Samuel's hands danced across the keys. The melody transformed into something breathtaking, haunting and pure, filled with pain and hope interwoven. Victor's breath caught. This was not fun. This was genius. Each note Samuel struck carried the soul of someone who had suffered yet still dreamed. The boy's blind eyes lifted skyward, as if he were seeing a world of light through sound alone. When the last note faded, Victor stood frozen, tears stinging his eyes. He whispered, "My godchild, you have a gift the world needs to hear." Samuel only tilted his head, confusion on his face. "Do you really think so, sir? Most people just hurry by. They don't hear me." Victor's throat tightened. "I hear you, and tonight, everyone else will too." Without explaining further, Victor gently took Samuel's hand. "Come with me." Samuel hesitated. "But, sir, I can't. Mama says I shouldn't go far. And this is how I help us eat." Victor pressed a bill into Samuel's small hand, more than the boy had likely ever held. "Your mama will forgive this adventure. Trust me." Minutes later, Victor led Samuel through the grand back entrance of the opera house. The ushers gasped, whispering, unsure why the great Victor Leclerc was bringing in a rag-blind boy. But Victor ignored them, guiding Samuel onto the stage. The murmurs grew in the audience, a ripple of disapproval. "What is this? Why is there a child on stage?" Victor raised his hand. "Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, before I perform, I want to share something extraordinary. This boy, Samuel, will play, and you will listen." The crowd chuckled, some scoffed outright. "A street child. Blind," they murmured. Samuel clutched the edge of the bench, trembling. "Sir, I'm scared. What if they laugh?" Victor knelt, his voice low but steady. "Then play until they cry instead. Play your truth." Samuel drew a shaky breath. His fingers found the keys of the grand Steinway. For a moment, silence weighed heavy. Then he began. At first, only a few notes like whispers in a storm. But then, as though every scar, every hunger, every lonely night was pouring out, the music surged. The hall filled with waves of emotion. Aching sorrow, fragile hope, a cry for light in endless darkness. The audience, once restless, grew still. Eyes widened, tears welled. One by one, voices hushed until not a sound remained but Samuel's music. When the final note lingered, trembling in the golden air, the hall erupted, not in polite applause, but in thunderous standing ovation. People wept openly, their hearts undone. Samuel turned toward Victor, uncertain. Did they like it? Victor's voice cracked. They loved it, Samuel. They loved you. That night changed everything. Reporters wrote of the blind boy who saw music clearer than sight. Concert organizers begged to hear him again. Charities offered to help his family. But most of all, Samuel discovered something he had never truly believed. He mattered. His gift was not small. It was immense. Years later, Samuel would stand on stages across the world, his blindness never a weakness, but a crown of resilience. And always, when asked how it began, he would smile and say, "A famous pianist once told me to play, just for fun." And the man who had once grown weary of applause found joy again, not in his own perfection, but in passing the gift of music forward to a boy who saw with his heart. So, dear listener, never underestimate the power of kindness or the hidden genius in those the world overlooks. And if this story touched your soul, remember there are countless Samuels waiting for someone to believe in them. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that remind us of the light we can bring into each other's lives.